greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Hey everybody, it's Rev129 coming back at you. Hope that everyone is having a blessed evening. I wanted to talk tonight a little bit about predictive programming. And when I talk about predictive programming, I'm not just talking about as it relates to this current invisible enemy that we are fighting. I'm talking about basically ever since the existence of media, it's been all about programming us. It's been all about getting Satan's agenda out and getting his agenda to set up the final Antichrist kingdom out. And you know, with what's going on right now, there's really disappointed in the Christian pastors. And I'm not saying all of them, but most of them are just hiding in their houses, afraid to talk to anybody, afraid to touch anybody. It's frankly ridiculous if you're a Christian to have this much fear. And they're just saying, if we can just hold on, we can just make it another week or two, everything will go back to normal. I'm going to be honest, I don't think we're ever going back to normal. I mean, we might go back to semi-normal for a couple months or maybe even a couple years. Only God knows the timing of everything. I'm not saying I know the timing or what's going to happen next, but I don't think we're ever going to go back to the way it was 2 months ago. This is all about bringing about permanent changes. It's a step-by-step process. And you know, I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to go back to normal. I don't really want to go back to so many Christians asleep, just going along with the world, worshiping this country. Everything's about, you know, oh, I got my kids' sporting events, my kids' college or school or whatever they're doing, or watching their sporting events or watching their television shows, and they're not living for Christ. They're not doing anything to reach people. I mean, we were in a spiritual Eden in this country at one point, but now it's not only burning, it's burnt. It's gone. And of course, just like in the Old Testament, God is going to punish this country for its spiritual state. And most people would rather just stay asleep, just give me back my life, let me go back to what I was doing. And you know, if that's what going back to normal is, then maybe we shouldn't. Maybe it's time for Christians to wake up and take action. So getting back to this predictive programming, they're sending out, I noticed in the past couple of days, they're sending out a lot of information about conspiracies and what to do when your uncle believes a coronavirus conspiracies. Oh my goodness, isn't that horrible? Somebody that questions the mainstream media. What are we going to do with them? We have all these articles. How evil is the internet and YouTube? God forbid you get your information somewhere other than the mainstream media. Oh my goodness, then how are we going to program you for whatever we're trying to do if you think for yourself? Taking a look at this article, it's not unusual for my relatives or friends to talk about kooky ideas. Notice the language, how they're trying to make anybody that doesn't believe the mainstream facts or so-called facts on this, which I don't even know if they have facts, but they're mainstream information. But now others believing in hoaxes or bad information feels dangerous. Ooh, oh my goodness. Somebody not buying the mainstream media? Listen, if you really think, I'm just going to say this, being honest, if you really think standing 6 foot away from somebody instead of 5 foot away from somebody is going to save you, if somehow the virus dies before it reaches to you, I mean, just think about how stupid that is. Honestly, you think they did tests You think there's some scientist that had people stand 3 feet apart, then 4 feet apart, then 5 feet apart? Wake up. Wake up. You're being programmed. You're being programmed how to act. And especially as a Christian, even if I thought this was real, I wouldn't be acting any different than I am. As long as we believe the mainstream media, they have us. That's why they hate the internet. That's why they hate YouTube. That's why they hate social media, because they can't control it. Now, they do everything they can, I will admit. They'll throw a bunch of false conspiracies out there because they'll try to get you off track. I mean, if there was only the mainstream media versus the truth on social media, then people would start flocking to it. So they got to put all these false narratives out there so it makes you confused. And of course, as Christians, just test it against the Bible. If it doesn't make sense with the Bible, then don't listen to it, because then it doesn't make sense, period. I tried to figure out what we can do when someone we love believes in coronavirus conspiracies they see online. Oh my goodness, again, what do we do about people who don't believe what they're being told? And oh, by the way, I've heard a lot of preachers talking about quarantine and how quarantine is in the Bible. And yes, quarantine is in the Bible, but it's only for those who are sick and show signs of the disease. When someone gets sick, they didn't put the whole tribe of Israel, all the different tribes, all the different groups into quarantine. They put the person that's sick. Sorry, I don't want to get out on a limb here, but it's just driving me nuts. People who are afraid of a scary illness. We should be on the lookout for those who have reason to talk misinformation. We can step in and spread good information to people who trust us and model good behavior. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to spread good information to those who trust the Lord. Conspiracy theories seem especially likely to take hold during disasters and tragedies when people experience a loss of control and are trying to make sense of the world. Duh. That's because you make the tragedies and disasters happen most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. If it's a natural event, it probably won't be covered much on the mainstream media, because that's just how it works. And of course, here it is again. This just came out today. Coronavirus conspiracy theories make Fauci the villain, because someone has to be. Let me tell you something right now. If you don't understand that this guy is a villain, then there might not be much help I can do for you. I mean, if you think this is a good guy and he doesn't have any connection to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Big Pharma and all of that, you know, if you just think he's really just a doctor trying to help people, then run with that. Go ahead, think it. According to some theories, for example, he's both played a role in creating the coronavirus and exaggerating the risk of a fake pandemic. They got to put fake in quotes there. According to widely viewed and shared YouTube videos, Facebook posts, and memes, Fauci's alleged motives include ties to Big Pharma, true, a financial stake in future coronavirus vaccine, true again, and involvement in a deep state plot to destroy the economy and influence the presidential election in November. True, true, true. All of this is true. Fauci is a devil. Okay? He's a murdering, thieving devil. As probably all them guys that are up on that stage are. That's what they are. They're in with Satan. They're in with making money. They don't care about us. It's never had anything to do with us. You know, if they cared about life so much, why do they allow abortions? All right? Abortion clinics are still open. You got little babies being killed every day, and they could care less. Oh, but be careful you stand 6 feet away, or you might let some poor old person in a home, old folks home, die. Oh my goodness, how horrible is that? I mean, if you buy this baloney, it's a shame. It really is. Experts warn that recent efforts to undermine scientists and public health officials like Fauci have the potential to further compound the dangers of misinformation. No, you are the misinformation. What you're writing here is the misinformation. And basically they're saying that the conspiracy theories are worse than the disease in some case, because God forbid we question authority or question those in control, question our government, question these scientists, question these physicians who all hate God, all hate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, think religion is a joke, think we're all idiots for believing in it. Why wouldn't we follow them? It's crazy. And I noticed they slipped this in too today. The Pentagon officially releases UFO videos. This has kind of slipped under the radar. I think they're going to use this sometime. I don't know when. But they have plans for this. The Pentagon has officially released 3 short videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena. Ooh, we're not going to officially call it a UFO. I mean, we're telling you that the military believes in UFOs, or that they've supposedly filmed UFOs, which we know is all a lie. And go check out William Cooper if you want to see about how the military gets information about UFOs. And they're setting us up. It's just like they always do. Predictive programming through movies, through media, through songs. They've been setting us up for this pandemic, and now they're setting us up for a quote-unquote alien invasion. After a thorough review, the department has determined that the authorized release of these unclassified videos do not reveal any sensitive capabilities or system. Well, thanks for clarifying that, because I was really worried about that somehow these fake UFO videos would give away classified information to one of our fake enemies that would, hit us with one of their fake bombs. This is just crazy. It's time to wake up, Christians. The game is the game is short at this point. It's close to the end, and we're way behind, unfortunately. And the time to gently bring people along is about to end. It's time to get real. It's time to turn off your TV and research. Now, the only reason I look at mainstream media is to see what they're pushing, is to see what their programming is, not because I'm looking at that to find out what's going on. You have a better chance putting your finger in the wind to find out what's going on than watching the mainstream media. So this has something to do with Project Bluebeam. Probably most people listening to my channel have heard about this. You can do some research on that and see how they're using these chemicals. I think the real reason for chemtrails is that they're trying to create a screen basically up there in the sky, along with, slowly poisoning and killing us. But that pretty much goes with everything they do, because all of these people believe that we're overpopulated. So surprise, surprise, they actually want people to die. It's hard for people to wrap their head around this, because they're so in love with the United States of America that they can't get over that the people that run this country don't want us to know the truth, don't want us to live and prosper. They want all the exact opposite. And they've had plans in effect. They've been facilitating their plans. They've been setting up their plans all under our noses all along, while we've just been sitting here with our heads in the sand thinking that everything's all right and that everyone can reach the American dream. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I like what the one comedian said. They call it the American dream because it only happens when you're asleep. And by the way, the American dream is probably the opposite of New Testament Christianity and what it says our life will be like, and spreading the good news, which should be the main purpose of a Christian. So they have all these things that they've been setting up for years and years and years, and if somehow aliens appear Take my words, it is all fake. Now, they might have a craft that they built somewhere that they'll say is an alien craft, but what you'll see in the sky and what they'll tell you will all be a lie. Go to 2 Thessalonians 2, go to Revelation 12:9. There's all kinds of biblical passages that tell you Satan is a liar. He's the father of it. There is no truth in him. It's all lies. They've been trying to brainwash us. And for those of you that think this is something new, that think, well, maybe the media and government's going bad now, but the good old days, the government and media was great and cared about us and was trying to help us. Take a good look at this from the 60s and let me know what you think.
Our national anthem.
It happens so quickly you can barely see it, but you aren't meant to physically, literally see it. You are meant to subconsciously see it. It is meant to go into the subconscious and implant itself into your brain on a subconscious level. And this continues throughout this entire national anthem.
Brothers and sisters, sorry to be the bearer of truth, but the only difference between America, Russia, and China is the flags that these leaders hold up. They all work for the same cabal. They all work for the same goal, and that is to control us and to run this world for Satan. God bless. Hit the like button if you like, subscribe, and wake as many people up as you can, because it's time to get people saved. It's time to get them on the right path, get them going to heaven, get them the good news, the only good news that's ever been good news, and that is that Jesus Christ came to this earth as God in the flesh, died on the cross, and rose again in 3 days. God bless you. I'm out.